Hello and good day mga kahabi. It has been 3 days already since we quarantined this rancho goldfish, and since we have not found any problem like parasite and diseases, we will transfer them now in this bigger tank for further grow out. One of the problem to those new in the hobby is they are really very enthusiastic in buying lots of fishes and mixing them together immediately after buying. But we always discourage everyone in doing it. We always encourage to quarantine newly acquired fish. That is to prevent problem and fatality to both new and old fish. That is because we don't know that our newly acquired fish comes with parasite and diseases. So how do we quarantine our newly acquired fish? Disclaimer that this is based on my practice and experience, so feel free to try it and assess if it also works for you. At least 3 to 7 days before buying new fish, we always prepare a quarantine tank. This time, I will be using my grooming tank to quarantine our newly bought fish since we don't have any other tank to accommodate all of them. And for the fish in this tank, I have already transferred them temporarily to a separate tank for safety. Take note that since this is an existing tank, I have changed all of the water and cleaned the filter. That is, if ever there is a bacteria and parasite in our water, it has been flushed out. Then we have cleaned the algae in the bottom of our tank also. But if you have a different tank which is really very clean, like without an algae, that is very best and I really recommend using it. Since we are using district water which is chlorinated, it is safe to assume that after we do a 100% water change, the bacteria and parasites will be killed off by chlorine which is present in our water. So I advise that do not add chlorine remover and let it aerate naturally. Then after a day, you can then add water conditioner in it. So we have cleaned the tank, cleaned the filter, did 100% water change, and as you can see that there is already an aeration. The question now is, do we need a heater? Technically, the answer is yes. Because heater relieves stress to the fish by maintaining water temperature and giving them their ideal water temperature. When your fish arrives, it is very important to acclimatize it. Let the plastic float in the tank water for at least an hour so that the temperature of the water inside the plastic will adapt to the temperature in the quarantine tank to prevent temperature shock. After you acclimatize your fish, you can put them in the quarantine tank. Very important also not to include the water in the plastic because the water in the plastic is already contaminated. So what we gonna do now after we release our fish? Still do a daily water change in the span of quarantine period. Siphon the poop, and in my practice, I do water change twice a day for an optimal water quality. Then when adding new water, add the new water gradually to prevent fluctuation of water temperature. In my practice also, I will not feed them at least 3 to 7 days depending on the condition of the fish. If on the third day we did not find any problem, we can then release them in the grow out tank and start feeding them gradually. In their first feeding after quarantine, we only feed them with pellet food. My reason for that is sometimes if live food is not cleaned properly, it comes with parasite and diseases which might cause problem to the fish. So I think that's it mga kahabi. Always put in mind that prevention is better than cure. So always quarantine your newly acquired fish. If I missed something, please comment it below, and if you have something to add in our process, we are very pleased to hear it from you. And if you are new to our channel, please support it by clicking the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified to our upcoming videos. So thank you, keep safe and happy fish keeping.